Administration has begun finding ways to force their ideas down our throats. Things they'd like to see, electric vehicles are a perfect example of. The White House now wants to require 2/3 of all new vehicles to be electric by 2032 in a country where right now next to nobody owns an electric vehicle. Biden's EPA equity hire explains.
I'm pleased to announce that EPA is proposing the strongest ever federal pollution technology standards for both cars and trucks. Today's actions will accelerate our ongoing transition to a clean vehicles future, tackle the climate crisis head on, and improve air quality for communities all across the country.
So yet again, they either manufacture or dramatically over-exaggerate a problem, in this case climate change, so they can solve it using tactics that get their donors rich, and then all that money goes back to them. Oh, we spent $400 million on inflation reduction. Nope. We sent it all to our buddies in Silicon Valley, and it's going to come right back into our coffers because climate change is such a dramatic threat. Sabotaging gas prices has been their other method of forcing you to go electric for their political agenda. But a recent Gallup poll indicates only 41% of Americans will ever buy an EV under any circumstances, or I should say will never buy. 41% will never buy one. That same poll showed only 4% of Americans, a little over 13 million people right now, own an electric vehicle at this point, even after they arbitrarily sabotage the price of gas. The average cost of an EV is $64,000, so the vast majority of Americans cannot afford these cars. They're already created with serious subsidies, using your money, of course, and skyrocketing gas prices again, another reason, another tactic. And when those don't work to force people to buy them, they're just going to regulate this until you're effectively forced to buy an electric car, or you can start walking to work if you'd like. So let's debate this agenda. Electric vehicle enthusiast Karl Brauer joins us now, and EV critic LaurenFix. Both of you, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Karl, we all support the private sector producing anything they want. You want to make a car that runs on snot, I don't care. But government forcing an issue is patently un-American, and that's what we're seeing here. The average cost of this car, $64,000. The average cost to replace a battery can be up to $20,000. There's no way you're going to get Americans to do this, but they're trying to force you to do it through regulations and through market manipulation, and that's just wrong. Do you not agree?
I agree that you don't want to move this too quickly. They made an effort to try to get production of vehicles and batteries in the U.S., and in the process, they made less cars eligible for the credit with their Inflation Reduction Act. So they already did something that was against electric vehicles, unintended consequence, I think, on their part. You know, these cars, they're early in the stage. We are learning now everything about how to produce them cost effectively, how to get the most mileage out of the battery packs, how to charge them as quickly as possible. But all those things are moving in the right direction. They're getting cheaper to produce. They're getting faster at charging. The battery technology is getting better and more energy dense, so you get more range. So like so many technologies in the past, the first part of the switch is costly and not very good for everybody, especially on a value basis, but we're getting there. We're moving in the right direction.
Lauren, we're moving in the right direction because the government is dumping tons and tons of our money into an industry to manipulate it.
Right. Absolutely. And you look at the people's interest. And today their study came out from Auto Trader in the UK saying that 65% of people weren't interested in an electric vehicle. And if you talk to the average person, you start looking at the vehicles. The vehicles are great. That's not the problem. The problem is the charging infrastructure. You got more than 30% of homes don't have garages. And then on top of that, you've got 130,000 charging stations across the whole United States. That's 10,000 cars for one charger. And in California, where Karl is, it's, 2.8 chargers for 10,000 cars. Who wants to sit in line and wait for a charger? Now, if you have a charger at your home, that may work, but it has to be installed by a certified electrician. Insurance costs are higher. Electricity, in my case, I live in New York State, so it's doubled in the last month. I actually said to my husband, look at the price of electricity here, and I don't own an electric car.
It's astonishing. Lauren and Karl, got to leave it there. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.